The huge talk of the town, the Olympics. It was the opening ceremonies. They had this dance party. The first issue the evangelicals had was the drag. These people were freaking out about the drag. That's the first thing. Now, if you look at Project 2025, they mention drag in the first paragraph. And this has been a huge thing for these nutty evangelical Christians, these far righters. But drag in France, it's a cultural thing. They love drag. It's part of their cultural identity. They're not at all like us, where they think, oh my God, men wearing dresses. It's not a huge deal. Dude, the French aristocrats were all like bisexual, dress wearing. They don't fucking care. They're so confident in their manhood over there. They don't give a shit. But Americans were freaked out about the drag, for starters, and not understanding that it's French history. It's like, apparently nobody in America understands or knows anything about France. They don't even know that drag is hardwired into the French identity, for one. But then two was the number of people that were freaking out about this supposed testicle. This huge scandal that was not even remotely a scandal, based around them saying that this was this guy's testicle hanging out, but it's not. You can clearly see it is a rip in his tights. The light spot is none other than bare skin revealed by a hole in the tights. It was very clear. Look, you could see it. It was getting bigger as he was dancing. But literally every right-winger in America was obsessed with this after the opening ceremonies. And these are major right-wing influencers. Pictures with arrows going on and on and on. It wasn't even a sexual thing. It was a hole in the man's tights. And everybody was going on and on and on about how it was a testicle and there's a child in front of him and all this crazy shit. And in fact, what it turned out to be is it turned out to be a big nothing burger. You could even see it here. Later on, he was dancing and the hole had ripped wider. Other people are like, I see more balls, 2 sets of balls. Like, and I'll be honest, I think if you're making pictures, if you're taking screenshots of live video and you're going into Photoshop and putting arrows on top of them, trying to like find balls, like, bro, you need to get some help. That's abnormal behavior. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you saw a set of balls, it would probably be less damaging than if you're making screenshots of all these live videos trying to find balls. I think you'd be better off just seeing some balls and moving on with your life. Like, people are deeply wounded by this shit. What's crazy about this, though, is looking the people getting in on it. Elon Musk has been elevating this. I think this is Gunther Eagleman. He blocked me. A lot of these far righties blocked me. But Elon went around and was pinging everybody who shared this photo. You see this thing, it got seen 5.5 million times. And this note debunking it didn't show up until today. Like literally, like in the last hour and a half. I think these have started showing up since I've been streaming. This community note was not here when I posted this earlier today. And we had like politicians too. Katie Britt was getting in on this saying, do you condemn this? Oh my God, Katie Britt, we love kitchen. Dude, she was going off on it. Mocking Christians is what they thought. Will you condemn this? America's at a crossroads. 2 different paths, craziness versus common sense. Bloody, bloody, blah. It's crazy that people are flipped out about this. This is their new, like, line of attack. They're perverts. Here's another one. Dude flashed his balls at the Olympics. No, he didn't. And they're all sharing it. Look at that. They're like, oh my God, they're balls. Look at this guy. Flashed his genitals. These freaks, blah, blah. It's just a rip in the tights. Any investigation would show you that it was a rip in the tights. There's what the rip looks like when it gets bigger. And they're like, oh my God, the balls are out and there's a kid there. Blah, blah, blah. Dude, yeah, these people are all freaks. This woman is a freak. Look at her eyes. She looks like she drinks Bibles for breakfast, bro. She's such a weirdo. They're all degenerate freaks. The conservatives are degenerate weirdos. I'm out here debunking this shit repeatedly. I was out here saying, what are you guys talking about? It was just a rip in his tights. But no, you fucking perverts went all in on some insane theories about it. Do you ever look in the mirror? Comprehend what sick and twisted you are? Because that's just it. These people are sick and twisted that every time they see a drag queen or a gay person near children, they go into panic mode and start obsessively trying to find some sexual thing because they can't stop thinking about like men's going into men's asses or whatever. But they're obsessed. They're obsessed. They're drawing pictures with arrows like, oh my God, look at that. Like, what is that, bro? Like, I don't see anything, dude. I see a fucking pair of pants, bro. The guy's wearing a onesie. Like, what are they doing, bro? They see a bump in a onesie and they start freaking out because, like, what? There's a penis under there? Like, do they not go out? Literally, do you Christians, do you not go outside? You know, if you go outside and you look at anybody wearing a pair of pants, you might see a bump where their genitals are. It's okay. You're going to be okay. Like, if you go and you go in the bathroom by yourself, go lock the door and make sure everybody's out of the house and look inside your pants. You've got a bump in there too. You've got some genitals in there too, and they're not scary. It's how you pee. It's how you off. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be afraid of that shit. It's not going to hurt you. It's really not. The fact that this guy in a onesie has a pee-pee inside his pants, just like you do. It doesn't have to be the end of the world. You're not wrong. The entire mainstream conservative movement is a transvestigation. It is. The entire mainstream conservative movement right now is an obsession with genitals in proximity to children. It's crazy. You know, next they're going to want to install like cod pieces for all adults that like start, you know, making one of those backup alarms, like a truck, anytime you're within 100 feet of a kid. Except their minister, who's like scrolling through his phone with, you know, 1,000 CSAM images and got 2 of his fingers in their daughter's. That guy, they're like, oh, well, he's a good pastor and he loves God, so we're going to give him a off the hook. You know? It's like, what are they doing, bro? They're crazy. They're crazy. And so I went around and just tried to like counteract some of this stuff because they're all going nuts. And now they were obsessed with this, thinking this is the Last Supper. But there's a lot of different things this could have been. There's Festival of the Gods, there's Dionysus. And even if it was the Last Supper, like, who cares? It doesn't look like the Last Supper. This doesn't remind me of the Last Supper at all. Like, now, every time people are standing at a table, it's the Last Supper. Like, bro, the evangelicals have lost it. They've lost it. It's not even the Last Supper, if you look into it. Here's what it is. It's about a Dutch painting of the Olympic gods. It's a Dutch painting. See how he's got the glow around his head? It's a Dutch painting of the Olympic gods. Of course, because it's about the Olympics. It's supposed to be Dionysus. It's a pagan feast. But this guy, superintendent, the Bible in Oklahoma guy's freaking out. Leave it to the French to embrace woke Olympics. It's funny that he calls it woke Olympics. Superintendent Ryan Walters, this guy is the head of all of education in Oklahoma, and he calls it the woke Olympics. Now, does he not know where the Olympics come from? Is he not aware that the Olympics come from Greece? Ryan Walters, what is Greek sex there, buddy? I'll give you a hint. It involves your booty, you dumbass. Dude, the woke Olympics, dude, they were all gay. That's what they did. If you go back to the Olympics, the history of the Olympics, they were all gay, bro. Every Olympian, like the famously straight ancient Greece. I mean, it's no wonder Oklahoma's 49th in education with this guy at the helm. What a dumbass, bro. This is why we need no Bibles in school, guys. We need fully funded world education because the people who want the Bibles in schools can't even watch the Olympic opening ceremonies in a culture in France where they celebrate drag and celebrating the Olympic gods who were all gay as shit. shit and pagans, and they're watching it and they're freaking out that like, oh shit, this is a satanic takeover. Dude, they're so dumb. They're so dumb, bro. And Leonardo da Vinci, who painted The Last Supper, like The Last Supper wasn't even in the Bible. That was a painting made by Leonardo da Vinci, who was gay. Thank you very much. I'll be here all week. Dude, they're falling apart. These people are just, they're disastrous, okay? They are disastrous. I just don't get it. But it's also, though, I think it's a little bit dangerous, the world we're treading in now, because we're realizing that there is a real media literacy problem. And so heading into the world of AI, it's a little bit dangerous, don't you think? You know, the fact that now, what's it going to be like when AI is creating real world videos that people can't even do basic, you know, analytical skills? I think it's really funny, though, that every time conservatives see a man in drag or a gay person, they start like looking for balls and penises and shit. I mean, that kind of speaks volumes, doesn't it? And I think that's very telling.